Well, we're excited for our opportunity on Wednesday, playing the number 6 team in the country, 24-1. In all honesty, a team capable of making a run to the Final Four. So it will be a great challenge, and I'm sure we will get their full attention also. Having been fortunate enough to beat them twice at the end of last year, I know that we have been circled on their schedule for a long time, and we'll look forward to our opportunity to see if we can put the kind of effort needed to come out of here with a victory.
Brian, they are red hot. They play at a fanatical pace. How do you take their intensity away from them on your floor? How do you change the chemistry of their game so you can be in the game?
You know, we'll just have to set a defensive game plan to try to slow them down. The pace they play at is the pace they play at. We're not going to be able to change that. We just have to make things a little bit more difficult. Maybe contest a shot that they take or two. Maybe get over there and see if we can't draw a charge or block a shot at the rim. But they are a downhill team. They're to the basket constantly, and that's at every position. And it's a great challenge because this is not a game where you're going to come out and say, if we stop these 2 set plays, we'll have a chance to win. They're free-flowing, they're aggressive, and they're very talented and well-coached.
For both players, it's been a long time since you played them last, and you beat them pretty good the last 2 times you played them. You've talked about being in that situation yourself where you've lost to a team and they wanted them bad, like Boise. What do you think do you have a sense of how badly they want you guys after what you did to them last year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if it was the other way around, as soon as that game ended and the schedule came out for the next year, I would have circled that game first. So I know it's going to be an intense game. They have really good players, and like Coach Dutch said, they're well coached. So it's going to be fun. I expect it to be just fast-paced and really intense. So it's a fact that they'll be ready for us, and we know that. I think we all know that.
Matt, Jeremy, is there any defensive assignment that you guys are looking forward to in particular?
Every single person on the roster. I mean, I look forward to guarding everybody. I don't take one person lightly and take another person as a green light. I see them as all having a green light and then being able to go and being capable players. So I look forward to stopping everybody.
I want the twins. I want them. I like that matchup.
Coach, when you were making a game plan, was there any player that you circled where you got to keep an extra eye on?
Like Matt said, they're all very talented. They can hurt you from every position. You know, they're all aggressive, and it can be game to game. You'll look up one game and Caroline will have 24 at halftime. And then the next game it'll be Martin and then Porter and then Jazz Johnson and then Thurman, and they're all capable of scoring. And so it's not a game where you say, well, if we stop this one guy, we'll have a chance to win. They do a great job of rolling with whatever that hot hand is that game. So they'll start to play, and whoever the hot hand is, they'll ride for a while. And so, like I said, they're unlike any team in the country. They're not governed by set plays. They're governed by flow and the hot hand and spacing, and they do a magnificent job of all that. And the thing that gets discounted in all this, they play hard. They play hard for 40 minutes, every possession. And even we got ahead last year at the conference tournament. They played hard to the very end. And that kind of effort then allowed them to make a run to the Sweet 16 where they got down in games. They're never affected by that. This is a play-hard team. And so if they're ahead of us, they won't let up. If we get ahead, they won't let up. They play hard for 40 minutes under Coach Musselman. And that's a fact.
You mentioned on Saturday night after the press conference that I think you said you were almost glad that you didn't get to play them until late in the season. You feel like your team's a bit more prepared. Could you just maybe elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I just think the way they play, the physical nature, the aggressiveness, I think maybe the freshmen would have not been prepared for that early in the conference season. And this will be a challenge. This will be like a game they haven't played yet, the nature of it. And so I think the games under their belt for Nathan and for AG and for Adam, the freshmen, I think this will have them better prepared. And I would say the same thing last year for Matt and Jalen and my sophomores. We didn't play them until the back half of the season last year. And so could we have beaten them 2 times early in the year? I don't know. But we had them late. And so I think whether that means we'll beat them or not, I think it'll give us a better opportunity playing them late in the year than early.
What advantages do you see coming into Wednesday for you guys?
Home court. I think we've won 12 in a row in this building in the conference. Our crowd behind us. We're playing better basketball. You know, we're getting better defensively and rebounding, and that will be the key to this game. We're not going to run out there and outscore them. We have to get stops. We have to find a way to slow them down and then be efficient at the offensive end against a team that is, I think, ranked number 26 in the country defensively. So manufacturing points will be difficult too.
What happened to them in New Mexico? Lid on the basket? I mean, is that an aberration?
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about New Mexico stopping them, but New Mexico made 14 threes against them. And that's a big number, you know. So they zoned them. New Mexico's big and strong. We know that, but they scored at an elite level. To make 14 threes against Nevada is no small task. And so they played well at both ends of the floor to win that game, and it took almost a perfect game to beat them. So we know what the task at hand is, and we're excited for the opportunity. We know we're going to see them, then we're going to see them at their place, and if we play well, we'll see them a third time. And so we will prepare for this game and hopefully come out on the winning end, but we'll take notes for the next game and notes for the game after that. And so every opportunity is to size up an opponent and hopefully come out on the winning end, but a chance to get a look at them and see what we can do to disrupt them.
Brian, is this maybe one of the more unique D1 programs in the country in that they are loaded with seniors? They don't have one-and-dones. Is this kind of unique?
Well, it's seniors that are transfers. I mean, their entire starting lineup is transfers, fifth-year seniors. You know, so they're guys that have played a lot of college basketball and they've started their career somewhere else. So they don't have a recruited senior in the lineup. And then off the bench, Jazz Johnson is a transfer. You know, so they've got kids they've recruited that are good players. But this might be the only starting lineup in the country that's ranked that has 5 transfers in the starting lineup.
Matt, Jeremy, just playing them last year, do you think this Nevada team is better this year or last year?
I think they're a little bit more deadly this year. Just like Coach Duss said, they have 5 fifth-year seniors in the starting lineup, and they have that age and that veteranship just to show that they're older and they've been through it and they know the game.
Coach, you said on Saturday you look at the film on that last incident with Jalen. When you look at it, it looks like maybe R.J. Williams kind of swiped him first, but what's your take on that now you've had a chance to look at the film?
It looked like they say in football, it's like a bang-bang play. You know, R.J., we had the rebound. R.J. tried to run up on Jalen, and he swung the ball back and then faked it at his face a little bit. And so, you know, I wish Jalen wouldn't have done it, but I don't think it was any major play either way. I think it was just no one hit each other. It was just 2 guys that competed hard all game, finishing at the aggressive end, and I didn't think there was anything to the play. Had he hit him with the ball, I would have been, you know, pretty upset about it, but he didn't hit him with it, you know, and I think they played to the last second, and Jalen played to the last second too.
Jeremy, if you guys could pull off this win against the number 17 in the country, what would it say about this group of guys you guys got?
I think it would just say we're a tough team and we're well coached. We listen to our coach and we want to please our coach. I think that's the biggest step that we've taken as a team is just listening to the coaches and just everybody being on the same page. So I think if we were to win the game, it would say that we've come a long way from the team that you guys saw in Maui. So we've worked hard and it's just another game to show the work that we've put in.
Coach, has obviously New Mexico zoned them in that game, and I know Nevada was not prepared for it. They thought they were going to play them. How, in watching film, have they evolved as a zone offense team? Have they improved?
Yeah, they become much better zone offensively. Their spacing's good. They've got set plays they run against a zone. And so, I mean, Wyoming zoned them, and they were super comfortable. Boise mixed zone. They were comfortable against Boise zone. Even Colorado State played them some zone. So I don't think they're rattled zone or man. I think they're confident. They know how to space the floor. And They seem aggressive no matter what defense you're playing. They're super aggressive trying to score that ball.
What's the health status of your team right now with Menza and everything?
Nathan continues to be bothered by his back, so he'll be limited today. We're going to make sure we have him healthy on game days. I think Jordan's going to come back limited today, and so what his status will be based on how he feels. So we won't try to do a whole lot, but what he does out there today, we'll kind of gauge tomorrow and see if he's super sore or if he's making good progress toward health. And so we won't rush him back, but if he goes limited for a couple days and feels he can contribute, we might find some minutes for him.
Coach, your father and Eric's father obviously coached the same school, and your kind of careers have intersected a little bit. How long have you known Eric, and have you guys talked about, your coaching against each other and your dad's coached?
Yeah, I've known Eric casually for a lot of years, but this year was the first year I got to go on the Nike head coaches trip. And they were just finishing up their Nike deal. They're Adidas now, so Jan and I got to spend time with Eric and his wife and quality time where we got to sit and talk, and it was a lot of fun. I think we formed a little bit better friendship. Now, I won't be very friendly Wednesday night, but as soon as the game's over, Eric's a good person. He's a very good coach, and it was kind of neat that our fathers kind of followed a lot of the same path, being head coaches at the University of Minnesota in their careers, and kind of we're both coaches' sons, and so we have a lot in common.
Like father, like son. I mean, Bill was over the edge a lot as a coach. Is Eric like that, or Eric a little different, or what do you take from his father?
I never got to see his dad coach, obviously, but Eric is super intense, and that's what makes him great. His intensity is over the top good, and so you have to coach to who you are. You can't say I'm going to be my father. So he may have some similarities to his father, but Eric's his own man, and I'd like to think I am the same way. I learned from all the coaches I work for, my dad, Lou Henson, Steve Fisher. So you always take a piece of not only your father, but everyone you've worked for over your career.
Brian, having been here during the Kawhi era, and then prior to that when Jamal was here, and you had the 31 teams, is Reno's firepower better than maybe the Aztecs had when the Aztecs were really, really good?
That's like comparing pros or programs and teams. Yeah, we had a very good team. That 34-3 team was good enough to win a national championship. We lost twice to Jimmer and once to Kemba Walker, who turned out to be pretty good players. And Muss has a great team this year. He had a great team last year. They were capable of going to a Final Four last year. But when you get to the tournament, you shake it up, and it's about matchups. So I know he wants a high seed. He wants a favorable schedule to make a run. But who knows? You may run into your UMBC and be Virginia. You never know. As good as it looks on paper, you still got to go on the court and play in March. And so he's trying to get his team ready for March. He's playing for seeding. He knows he's in the tournament. So he's playing to win a conference title, and more than anything, I think he's playing for seeding because he can't have a slip-up in our conference, or he could drop from a 4 seed to a 6 seed in one game. So they're trying to remain focused, which I give him credit for.
Have you noticed a difference in their mentality since the New Mexico loss? It just seems they've been full throttle ever since then.
I think a lot of it's with all these veteran kids. I think it's almost like the NBA. Like the NBA, they don't go hard all the time. They seem to gear it up down the stretch. And I think these guys were good, but I think they just keep turning it up now. They know what time it is. They knew they were good, and so they're playing to March. So they're turning it up. So you'll see them better against us and better as the season goes on. I think they're just going to keep turning it up, and if they can stay healthy, they're going to be a threat to make a deep run.
Is Caroline play bigger than his frame looks?
He's a monster, yeah. He's a monster rebounder. So he does a great job of getting his own rebound. Like he drives in there, and he bumps you, and then you bump backwards, and then he goes and gets it because you're still moving backwards. So he's a physical presence, and obviously he's playing supremely confident right now, shooting way more threes than he's ever taken.